All right, folks, let's get into our NFL part of this show. Cue the music. Dun, dun, dun. Starting off week 2 of our NFL slate, Jets at Browns. Browns are minus 6.5. The over-under at 39.5. Low over-under in this game.
Well, really low over-under.
Or low over-under total, sorry.
Yeah. Did you see the Browns' new logo on their field?
Dude, the Brownie the Elf?
Brownie the Elf.
What? That shit's ass, dude.
I think that's a little early for that. If you're going to do something like that at the earliest, November.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Their fans, or their fan section's called the Dog Pound. They're named after a color, and now they have an elf logo on their field.
And their logo is orange.
Yeah.
All the Browns and their logos are orange helmet. It just doesn't make any sense. What is going on with Cleveland?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the logo, it's creepy, too. It's a little weird. I saw a picture, or like a video of like the elf mascot dancing around the logo, throwing out stiff arms and stuff. It was weird, man. It reminded me of when Krampus was in Modern Warzone.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah, and I was like, it just gave me weird vibes. So I don't know about that. For that reason only, it makes me want to go Jets. It really does, just because that stuff, it's just weird timing to me.
Yeah, this game, I hate this game.
I like Jets to cover 6.5.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go Jets plus 6.5. I'm going under.
You like the under in this game?
I
will say both Joe Flacco and Jacoby Brissett looked relatively uncomfortable in their offenses. Joe Flacco just looked uncomfortable being still on a football field in 2022. So even though
how old is Joe Flacco?
He's got to be up there. Delaware State product, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the under too, even though it seems like a relatively low. This could be just a 17-10.
That's what I see.
That's
what I see.
Okay, moving on to the next game. We got a division rivalry game here, right?
Yeah, they're in the same division.
Yep. Bucks at Saints. Bucks are favored minus 2.5. The over/under is set at 44.5.
That's a great number. One thing I just want to say is Julio Jones back? He had an amazing Sunday night game, or at least in my opinion.
I think he outperformed people's expectations.
I didn't expect him to do anything with Tampa, and all of a sudden Brady was throwing to him left and right.
Yeah.
And he was making plays left and right.
Yeah, I like I don't know, man. This is a tough one too. I don't know if it's going to be another first half shit show or both teams come out firing. Obviously the Saints and Jameis looked much better in the second half of their game last week. Also, Tom Brady just sounds super dejected in all of his interviews. I'm almost wondering if he's regretting coming out of retirement or if that's just like a ploy of his. All is good, lull is me,
right.
woe is me, and then all of a sudden, the Bucs just, put it all together. To me, this is a true coin flip game. I do think Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry are going to cause a lot of problems for Todd Bowles and Tampa Bay's defense. I'll take, I don't know. It's such a coin flip here.
I'm going Bucks minus 2.5. I'm not touching the over-under because I can see that going over, and I can also see it going under. Bucks minus 2.5, not touching over-under.
Yeah, I'm going to take Bucks minus 2.5 too. Even though I think it's going to be close, I'm not touching the over-under. But it's hard to go against TB12. It just is. Even if he doesn't seem like he wants to be there. We'll see, though. Next game, Case. What are we looking at?
This game sucks. This game's not going to be a good game to watch.
Well, I don't know about
Carolina Panthers heading to New York and playing the New York Giants. Giants are 2-point favorites. Over-under set at 43.5. Let me just say one stat. This is the first time the Giants are above 500 since 2016.
They're 1-0.
1-0.
God.
First time above 500
Saquon looked great.
Saquon looked like he is back.
Yeah, I think he had 18 for 164 or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one for me. I'm rooting hard for Baker this year.
Yeah, this is a hard one. I'm a huge Baker guy, but you know what? Giants minus 2, under 43.5.
Is that what you're taking? I'm a little worried because the Giants have some offensive line concerns, and their linebackers didn't look great against Tennessee. I'm worried if they can guard C-Mac out of the backfield. I'm going to take Panthers as a dog in this one. I like Panthers money line.
I can see that happening. I could see that.
I
still love the under.
You love the under here?
I love the
under. What is it? 43.5?
Yes.
All right. Next game, Pats heading to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Pats -2, over under set at 40.
So some news about the Steelers, about TJ Watt.
Yep.
He is not needing surgery, and I think they said about 6 weeks he's only going to be out.
Oh, that's great news.
That's great news.
Yeah, well, I know we had talked about when the news initially broke, they were worried that he was lost for the season.
Yeah.
So that's great news.
Yep. It is definitely, I don't think it is a torn pec. I don't think they said that. Yeah, he does need surgery for it. So
right.
He's just out 6 weeks.
Mac Jones looked pretty banged up at the end of that Dolphins game. Hopefully
They look horrible.
Back. Yeah, the Pats look awful.
They look awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I don't see how, unless it's just TJ Watt's not playing, is why the Pats are 2-point favorites. But I think this game being in Pittsburgh, I'm going Steelers money line. Just like I'm not touching this over under because I can see it going under. Just because I mean,
yeah,
who's going to score?
Yeah, that's also a concern of mine. I don't know if I have an opinion on the over-under. I am worried about the pass offense. That would lead me to believe the under is probably going to hit. I love Steelers' money line. The Pats, they have a bad offensive line, a bad secondary, and an offense that looked horrible against Miami. Miami blitzed a lot last week, and it really seemed to confuse New England, especially up front. I expect the Steelers to do the same this week, even without TJ Watt. So yeah, for those reasons, I like Steelers money line here. Next game, Colts at Jags.
Your team, the Colts.
Colts, my team.
Their team -7.
I was on
Colts -7.
As you guys saw in the highlight video. I was so wrong on that. I had the Colts -7 running away last week against the Texans, and they end up tying. Over under this game set at 44.5. Colts -3.5. Fuck this game is what I have written on the show sheet. One interesting note: Colts head coach Frank Reich is 0-4 against Jacksonville this year. Waving at Tucker, he's being a good boy.
He's pissed. I just flicked him off.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said? Colts head coach Frank Reich 0-4 against Jacksonville in his career.
Ooh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep. So he's had some problems with Jacksonville in the past. The Jags last week showed some red zone problems. It kind of lost them the game. I like Matty Ice over Trevor Lawrence. If this is a real prove it game, bounce back game, who's going to win it? I like the Colts here. It'll be interesting to see for the Jags going forward who gets more of the snap share at running back, whether it's James Robinson, the vet, or ETN, who pretty much is his rookie year because he missed all of last year. Give me the Colts -3.5.
I'm gonna say Colts -3.5. I think this is a must win for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Even
over
though
under
second game of the year, I still say it's a must win.
Yeah, you can't start off 0-2 against two teams
I'm not
that
touching the over under.
You don't like over under 44.
Yeah, I'm going over. I'm going over.
Yeah, oh, that's fair. I would lean towards the under. I could see it being 2017. If the Jags keep it close, but I like the Colts -3.5. I think they win by a touchdown. Moving on to the next game, Dolphins at Ravens. I sneakily love this game. Ravens are favored -3.5. Over under set at 44.5. Waddle. Lamar Jackson clearly out to prove something this year. Miami struggled last week to run the ball against the Pats. And I was reading that the Pats played mostly 5 defensive backs all game, and Miami still struggled to run the ball. And I think the matchup to watch this week in this game is Tyreek Hill versus Marcus Peters.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Marcus Peters, good corner. Tyreek Hill, that's who they're trying to move their passing offense through. Who do you like in this one?
I hate this game.
Really?
I don't like this game. I have no opinion on it. I mean, let's just do it. Ravens -3.5.
Yeah, I like Ravens -3.5. I think if it comes down to which quarterback's going to play better, I trust Lamar over Tua all day. We'll see, though. I think I have the over. Let's see. Yeah, I like the over in this one, 44.5.
Oh, you were afraid you were going to go under? Then when you got down there,
yeah,
you were going to be like,
I'm
going to flip my pick again for the third straight week.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at that. So, yeah, I do like the over in this game, over 44.5. I could see Waddle and Hill both getting a tutty.
He loves the under.
No, I don't. I like the over.
Just don't let him fool you. He loves the under.
I have it picked.
You still had to look.
I just wanted to verify that that's the game I took at 44.5. I do like the over.
He loves the under.
Oh, shut up. Falcons at Rams. Let's move on. Quit trolling me.
What, because you love the under in that game?
I like the over. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
I like the over.
Okay, you know what?
Do you need me to remind you? I like over 44.5 Dolphins at Ravens.
I'll go under.
He's just doing that. He's just fading
moving on.
me.
Falcons at Rams. Rams 10 points.
Get it together.
Over under 47.
Lock it in.
The Rams still hung over.
From the Super Bowl run?
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. They played like shit last week. Stafford looked horrible. That offense looked not like
Stafford MVP.
No. What was I saying since you just
some stupid shit.
Their offense did not look the same as last year. I think the Rams have a pretty suspect offensive line. I don't think the Falcons have the front four on defense to expose it necessarily, though. The Falcons do run a blitz-heavy scheme. That's what they did last week as well. And that's one of Stafford's strengths is when you blitz him. He typically plays pretty well against defenses that like to do that to him. I don't know. The spread seemed awfully high for how the Rams looked last week. So I'll take Falcons plus 10, and I'm going to take the under.
I'll do the same thing. Falcons plus 10. And
ride with T-Web, baby. Hop on the train.
If I'm doing that, it's 2 losses right there then.
Shut up.
If you want to talk shit, then that's 2 losses, I guess.
Next game, Seahawks heading to the 49ers. 49ers are favorites at -9. Over-under set at 42. I have an interesting stat for you, Casey. And this might change some opinions for you. Pete and Carroll is 8-2 against the 40. Huh?
Pete and Carroll?
Pete Carroll?
You said Pete and Carroll.
I didn't. Listen to the tape. Pete Carroll is 8-2 against 49ers and 4-0 in his last 4 meetings against Kyle Shanahan.
Seahawks plus 9.
You like that?
I love it. I mean, Geno Smith looked amazing last week. I mean, pray to God he has 2 good games. You don't know. You couldn't take much on how the 49ers looked because that was a shit show in Chicago last week. So I'm not going to say that the 49ers are a bad team yet because of how that game looked. So, I mean,
you're talking about like the weather especially? Yeah.
Fuck. Now that I'm talking about it, I don't know.
Well, so
who knows? What if the Seahawks played like that because it's the Russ wanted out of here? There was some extra motivation. Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about too. Like, does Geno Smith play 2 good games in a row, or does water find its level? You know what I mean? Is this Trey Lance's coming out party because he'll actually, not be playing in a monsoon?
Double-digit favorites. 9. You're talking 9 that you're pushing, or 10 to win. Double digits to win. Let's go Seahawks plus 9. I think it's going to be a touchdown. I don't think it's going to be any more.
What about the over-under? Not touching it? Over-under is 42. I like the 49ers in this one, but 9 seems a lot. I like the Seahawks plus 9 just because I think that 49ers could win by a field goal or 2 field goals. Trey Lance got to prove it. You know what I mean? He's got to prove it. I was high in the Niners. I have him winning the Super Bowl. Already starting to regret that. That's my week 1 overreaction. What the hell? I know they played in a monsoon in Chicago. Should be much better weather this time around in San Fran. But I do like the Niners covering 9 points, or the Seahawks covering 9 points.
This next game is a little interesting. Not really, though.
Cooper Rush, fire up chips.
Bengals heading to Dallas and playing the Cowboys. Bengals are -7. They're 7-point favorites. Over-under sitting at 41. Jerry Jones had some interesting comments earlier this week. He said
about Dak.
He said that he wants him to be considered to play within 4 weeks.
So he's not gonna put him on the IR, right?
He's on the IR.
Yeah, that's interesting. It also worries me whenever that happens too, because it's like you don't want to rush a guy back either. He plays 2 games and then he's out again. That's never good.
This is a prove-it game for Joey B.
Yeah, he's got to bounce back.
Last week, I think he has to bounce back and see how he does. I'm going Bengals -7, and I'm going over 41.5.
Yeah, I like Bengals -7 a lot. Although I love Cooper Rush, I want him to compete. Cooper Rush, fire up chips. He was my quarterback at CMU. I don't know with how bad their offense looked with Dak last week against the Bucks. I hate to say it, but Cooper Rush is definitely a downgrade from Dak. So I don't know if that offense can look better when they're getting worse already. So yeah, I'll take Bengals -7 all day, and I like the over too. I think that if the Bengals have the chance to, they'll light it up. They'll light it up for sure. All right, Casey. Moving on to the next game: Texans at Broncos. Broncos are the favorites -10. Over under set at 45.5. Do I need to give you a second to rant?
No, because I kind of did it a little earlier in fantasy. I hate Russell Wilson. He is absolutely dead to me. He might be on my never draft in fantasy because he is a horrible quarterback.
That's a week one overreaction.
He has a lot to prove to me this year. He has to bounce back, or I will never pick him again in my fantasy league.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something really, really phony about Russell Wilson that's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Broncos being 10-point favorites after. I mean, the Texans looked competitive. I know the Colts didn't play great. They got a really young secondary that just seems explosive. That's something definitely to watch for. This is a tough one.
This is a really tough one. I mean,
it's almost like, do you think the Broncos, because they should have and wanted to win last week, they come out and pissed, or are the Texans just a better team than them? This Vegas is obviously giving them credit for.
I don't even want to touch this game.
Yeah, I don't either, but we got to make a pick. This will not be on my betting sheet, but if you had to pick,
Broncos -10. That's what my gut's telling me.
My gut's telling me that. Yeah, I do too. I think I could. Yeah, we agree. Okay. Over under. I'm not at 45.5. My gut would probably say under.
Yeah.
If I had to give an opinion, I'm leaning more under than over, but it's tough to say when you're giving.
I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah. Cardinals at Raiders. Raiders 5.5-point favorites. Over under set at 51.5.
I think there's something going on in the Cardinals organization. I don't think something's good going on. I think there's something I don't know how the chemistry is going on there.
It does seem like a team that should have been really motivated after all the offseason headlines about Kyler and like the study clause in his contract, and then they removed it. You would think that'd be, material to motivate them and get them to play really well, but they didn't look great last week. Offensive line definitely going to be tested this week. The Raiders have a new revamped defense under their new defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, and I think he's going to test Kyler's protection. He's going to test that offensive line with a ton of blitzes this week.
And they have a really good edge rusher.
Yeah, Crosby. Yeah, he's really good. And just looking
Mac product.
Right, go EMU, Ipsy. Let's go. Arizona doesn't really have the talent up front on both sides of the ball either, which I think that favors the Raiders in the trenches. I like Raiders -5.5.
I love the Raiders -5.5. I mean, I loved the Raiders last week, and they kind of bit me in the ass.
And they played well.
They did.
Chargers are
well.
just a good team.
Yeah, I should have just took that, but
I had the Raiders last week too.
Raiders -5.5.
I like the over too. Over 51.5. I think the Raiders get out to lead. Arizona's playing from behind the whole time. Expect some long touchdowns.
Yeah, a little backdoor cover.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I think. Maybe not a backdoor cover, but on the over under. Yeah.
Over under.
The Sunday night game this week, rivalry game. Bears heading to Lambeau to play the Packers. Packers are the favorite, -9.5. Over under set at 42.5. What do you like in this game, King?
This isn't one of those things that my gut's telling me. Packers -9.5, but it's also.
They didn't play great against Minnesota.
Who the hell is Aaron Rodgers throwing to?
So a couple interesting notes that might change your mind in this. The Packers could be back with two of their starting tackles, Egnan Jenkins and David Bakatari. Not sure if they're going to play or not, but if they do, I love the Packers in this one. Also, will Allen Lazard play? He's presumably wide receiver 1 for the Packers. He has the most time spent with Aaron Rodgers, the most chemistry on the team between those two because they have experience with each other. So I would say if those three guys play for the Packers, I love the Packers -9.5. one of those kind of game time things that we talk about with some of the college games where I would have to wait and see are they going to play or not before I put any action.
Right. I mean, like, do you think that all these issues that Aaron Rodgers has having with his wide receivers is partially to blame on him? Like he wasn't possibly there as much
for the OTAs. Yeah.
For the OTAs,
no,
like that's a time where you have a brand new set of receivers. Why aren't you there working with
spending the time, putting in running routes.
So they know how you throw the ball, so you guys have that chemistry.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of the blame is on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I also think it's one of those things where I do expect that wide receiving core to get a lot better throughout the season. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that because, I think if Christian Watson catches that opening pass, what would have been a touchdown for the Packers in that Viking game, it could totally change the outcome of that game. So that's something to keep an eye on. Like I said, if those three guys play, I like Packers -9.5, especially at home, Sunday night game. Rodgers obviously doesn't want to get off to a super slow start.
Especially the Bears coming off the win that they had.
Right.
I still see the Packers winning by double digits. Packers -9.5.
Yeah.
Not touching over-under because I don't know how many points the Bears are going to score.
Right. I agree with that. I like that. Titans at Bills. This is the Monday night game this week.
2 Monday night games.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, because it's Vikings-Eagles, right?
Yep.
That's the other one. Ooh, double dopes on Monday night. I'm in.
Love this.
I'm in. Sign me
They
up.
usually do it week 1, but I think what they did was they're like, we'll just overwhelm you on Sunday, and then the next week we'll do 2 Monday night games.
Yeah,
I love this move by the NFL.
Yeah, me too. So Titans heading to Buffalo to play the Bills. Bills are favorites -10. Over under set at 48.5. There's been a lot of points.
Ridiculous spread.
Yeah, it is. There's been a lot of points in the last 2 matchups between these teams.
Was that a touchdown?
Hold on, folks. Doesn't look like it.
No, it wasn't.
A lot of points in the last 2 matchups between these teams. Titans scored 76 points in the last 2 games versus Buffalo. Those were both early in the season matchups where Tennessee actually won those games. I don't know. Tennessee lost a heartbreaker last week against the New York Giants. It's going to be an interesting game. Who do you like here? Bills -10. Who you got?
Bills just looked so good last week. I'm going Bills -10, and I'm going over 48.5.
Yeah, Josh Allen doesn't look human, and until he does, I'm going to ride with the Bills. I love the over in this game, over 48.5. History's on your side with that one. And it being at Buffalo Monday night, the fans are going to be crazy. So, yeah, I like Buffalo in this one as well.
I heard there's some schools in Buffalo that are giving their students half
No,
days.
all of them.
Oh, is it all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, every school in Buffalo is giving students half a days because the game is Monday night.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a football city.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
that's awesome. They would never do that in Ipsy.
No.
They don't care about the Lions.
No. I love this next game. Eagles heading to Philly and playing the Eagles.
Eagles are not heading to Philly. They're from Philly.
I said
Dumbass.
Vikings. I thought I said Vikings. Sorry.
Dumbass.
Vikings heading to Philly and playing the Eagles. Sorry, guys. I was looking at the Eagles.
You're good, dude. I'm just fucking with you.
Eagles -2. Over under at 50.5.
That's a good number.
I love Vikings money line. Vikings are winning this game. I don't think the Eagles looked good last week because the Lions made them look good last week. I think the Vikings defense is a lot better than the Lions defense. I don't see the Eagles stopping Jamar Jefferson. That's his name, right?
No. Justin Jefferson. You're thinking Jamar Chase.
Yeah, if I put them together. Justin Jefferson.
That would be a hell if you could combine those guys. Holy shit. Watch out.
But I don't see him stopping Justin Jefferson. I think he is just insane what they were doing with him last week with his bringing him in motion and it was just.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things like Jair Alexander for the Packers. Like, he's a great corner, and Jefferson was wide open all the time. It's almost like the Packers do one of those things where Alexander couldn't shadow Jefferson. They split the field. Like, you're that corner, the other corner stays on that side of the field no matter the matchup. I'm sure there's a technical football term for that. It's failing me right now. I think Hurts is going to provide more problems for the Vikings defense than Rodgers and the Packers did because Packers offense looked horrible But I do like the Vikings in this game. I like Vikings money line, and I'll take the over. 100%. Last game of the slate, a local one here for us. Commanders heading to Detroit to play our Detroit Lions. The Lions are, for the first time in 24 straight games, the Lions are favored -1.5. Over under at 48.5.
They were 2.5 point favorites earlier in the week.
Yep.
Went down the 1.5. I think it's going to be more of a pick 'em by the time it hits game time. Is this a must win for the Lions?
I want to say no, only because we know how much easier their schedule is.
No, I'm not saying like to get into the playoffs. I mean, I'm talking like if obviously last week the Lions looked like last year.
Yeah,
they looked like the last year.
I mean, they never had a chance. They never had the ball with a chance to win it.
No,
everyone wants to talk about how. Right, everyone wants to talk about how it was close. It was close.
Loser mentality.
Yeah,
that is a fucking loser mentality. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this Lion bullshit. I'm sick of the fucking fans thinking that they're gonna go 10-7. They're gonna do this. I know I said that at the beginning of the year. I fell into the trap.
You're getting my heart rate up.
I'm sorry. I told you I was gonna go off about the Lions earlier. That just triggered me. That instantly triggered me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean.
This is a must-win for the Lions, in my opinion. I think they need to do something to take that next step.
Okay, so I would say it's a must-win in the sense of if you want, you know how Ford Field was sold out against the Eagles, and they were credited with being really loud. If you want the fans to continue to be as bought in as we are and the collective fan base is, you have to beat the Washington Commanders this week, because I don't care what the experts are saying. I know the Washington looked good. Their offense looked good last week, but the general perception to the average fan of the Washington Commanders is that they're a bad football team. Mm-hmm. So for the average fan that's not diving in kind of like we are, they're assuming that the Lions should win this game. Vegas even is picking the Lions to win this game. The Lions have to win this game if they want the support, like the full-fledged support of the fans going forward this season.
I agree.
So yeah, I'm gonna ride. I want the Lions. I got the Lions. Let's do it. Lions.
I'm going Lions -1.5 just because I'm just gonna root for it, and
I'm taking the over.
Oh yeah, over. Lions defense sucks.
Yep.
Over.